The woman in the Florida parking lot noticed the white van first. It drifted along the storefront like it was casing the spaces, then slid past her toward the far exit. No door opened. No voice called out. She kept walking until something caught her eye near the oil stain by the cart return, a Polaroid, face down, edges dusty, film square still crisp. She bent to pick it up and turned it over. A teenage girl stared back at her, wrists tied behind her, ankles bound, a strip of black tape across her mouth. Beside her, a younger boy lay in the same position. They were on what looked like a bare mattress in the back of a vehicle. A paperback rested near the girl's head. My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. The woman's breath stalled. The scene felt wrong in a way the body knows before the mind catches up, a silent alarm sealed in gloss. 9 months earlier, on the morning of September 20th, 1988, 19-year-old Tara Calico rolled her neon pink bike out of the garage in Belen, New Mexico. She had a plan for the day, a workout ride along New Mexico State Road 47, home by noon, then errands and an afternoon date. She slipped a cassette into her Walkman, tugged the headphones into place, and pushed onto the shoulder with the steady cadence of someone who knew the route and had ridden it often. Drivers later remembered the flash of pink and the ponytail. A few recalled a light-colored pickup with a camper shell that seemed to drift near the shoulder, maybe more than once. The road was wide and the sky clean. Tara kept time with the music and the mile markers. Noon came and went. When she didn't return, her mother drove the route. Along the shoulder, she found what no parent wants to find, a broken cassette and fragments of plastic from a portable player, like the one Tara carried. Deputies spread out. Searchers checked culverts, ditches, side roads, and spurs. The pink bike was gone. No tire tracks told a clear story. No struggle lay marked on the gravel. It was as if a straight road had opened and closed with her inside it. The Polaroid surfaced the following summer in Port St. Joe, Florida, after the woman carried it into a nearby store and called police. Local officers sent copies up the chain. When the image ran on television, Tara's family saw it and froze. The girl's leg showed a mark where Tara had a scar. The paperback by her head was a book she loved. The expression in the eyes, alert, angry, refusing to give up ground, felt like Tara. The family said it was her. Analysts approached it like a puzzle. The FBI examined the photo and could not say it was her. A Scotland Yard examiner reviewed it and judged the match likely. That split, probable and not certain, became its own fact in the case. The boy beside the girl looked like another New Mexico missing child, 9-year-old Michael Henley, who had vanished during a family camping trip the same year Tara disappeared. The idea that two kids from the same state had ended up bound together in a van 3 states away pulled attention hard toward the photograph. In 1990, searchers found Michael's remains in the Zuni Mountains near where he went missing. He had died of exposure. He was not the boy in the picture. One anchor line to the Polaroid snapped, and the image drifted, still awful, still possible, but less connected. Back in Valencia County, investigators kept circling the same points on the map. They walked the stretch where the cassette pieces turned up. They logged statements about the light-colored pickup with a camper shell and a possible second vehicle. They brought in new eyes to look at old files. Theories bred in the vacuum. Some residents whispered that local boys had thrown bottles and harassed cyclists along that shoulder. In 2008, the county sheriff said publicly he believed 2 teenage boys had struck Tara with a truck, panicked, and abducted her, and that adults helped hide what happened. He added that he didn't have the evidence to bring a case. Tara's family rejected the announcement as reckless and unproven. Without names on warrants and physical evidence to lock a chain of events together, it remained a theory among many. The Polaroid created its own set of witnesses. In Florida, a woman remembered a white cargo van easing through the lot and a man with a mustache at the wheel. The photo itself offered the visual details investigators like to hold: the weave of a pillowcase, the grain of a wall panel, the angle of light across the girl's cheekbone, the paperback's placement as if someone meant it to be seen. Investigators enhanced, compared, and measured. They tried to read the background like a map. The answers stayed stubborn. 2 more photographs appeared in later years, grainy images of bound girls, but their provenance was weak, and their tie to Tara weaker. None produced a suspect who stood in a courtroom to face questions. The strongest parts of the timeline still sit close to the ground. A 19-year-old left home on a routine ride. Pieces of her player turned up along the route. Drivers reported a light-colored pickup with a camper shell shadowing the shoulder. A Polaroid showing a bound teenage girl and a younger boy was found in a Florida parking lot the next summer, with a book the girl in New Mexico loved set in frame. Analysts split on whether the teen was Tara. No arrest followed. Those facts don't change shape with time. Everything else remains argument, some informed, some reckless, none conclusive. The middle of the story is where families live when cases don't resolve. Tara's room stayed ready. Holidays arrived with an empty chair and a clock that marked hours but not movement. Her mother kept pushing for coverage because attention is pressure and pressure can force mistakes. Federal bulletins went out. Shows re-aired the image because it made viewers look twice. Tips rose and fell. People studied scars, teeth, and hairlines like they could will pixels into truth. Each new call felt like a breath held and released. Each dead end cut another thread without killing the hope that drives the next call. Investigators never dropped the map. Files were reopened and repaginated. Old interviews were replayed against new techniques. The stretch of State Road 47 where she was last seen didn't change much. It still runs flat and long, with an edge line that tempts a rider to settle in and trust the shoulder. It still looks like a place where a person could disappear quickly if the wrong 2 vehicles converged at the wrong minute. That plain fact is part of why the story persists. It shows how fragile routine can be, and how ordinary space can hide a moment that reorganizes an entire family's life. Every few years, the image returns to circulation and pulls Tara's name forward again. When it does, the same debates wake up: the leg scar, the angle of the jaw, the paperback on the pillow. People want it to be her because that would mean she lived past September 1988. People fear it is her because of what the picture shows. Both feelings can be true at once, and both keep the case in the public square. That tension becomes the fuel. Uncomfortable, necessary, never enough on its own. There is no gentle way to end a story that hasn't ended. What remains is the clean line of the known. A rider left her driveway. Witnesses saw a light-colored pickup with a camper shell. Fragments from her player were recovered on the shoulder. A Polaroid of a bound teen girl and a younger boy turned up in Florida the next summer with a book that tied back to Tara. Analysts disagreed. Theories multiplied. No one has been held to account. When you stand on that road now, the distance between mailboxes looks short, and the space between cars looks long, and the desert holds its quiet the way it always has. You can imagine a pink bike cutting through the heat, music in the ears, noon on the clock, and you can feel how quickly a minute can go missing. Thank you for listening to The Lantern's Tale. Subscribe for more true stories, if you dare.